Alright, everybody. Sorry about the wait. I am happy to finally go live. Give me a moment. I'm going to go and post some items on band to make sure everyone knows. Okay. Alright, so I think we're live. Can you guys hear me alright? Bo, if you could be so kind as to post in band. That's alright, I ended up figuring it out. Okay, there we go. Alright, so who else do we have in here? I think it's just you and me at the moment, Bo. Let's see how many people are actually watching here at the moment. The live dashboard. Yeah, there you go. 4 subs, 4 people watching. I'm the next YouTube star. Alright, so that aside, while we wait, I'm going to go ahead and do a few quick battles, empty my stones, and I'll get into my explanation. In about 5 minutes, I'll go into my own thoughts on how to do free-to-play events. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If not, enjoy the grind with me. Now, I have been playing Dawn of Titans for a little over a year, on and off. And one thing I've come to notice as a free-to-play player is not all lands are created equal whenever you are grinding. The first thing to consider as a free-to-play player is you're really playing for the relics. And so when you're looking for a place to grind, while it's nice to have those basically free lands where you have, 4 people defending, what you're really looking for is lower level lands with several troops defending so you can maximize your relic output. I'm going to be raiding with Kamathi here. And the key to doing this is... Oh, game sound is really... Lower that down a little bit. Let me know if that gets better. The key to these raids is honestly speed. So what I do is I get my Titan and I let my cats actually do all the work. Once you eliminate all of the outskirt troops, you just continually run back and forward through the troops that you have here. You never really want your Panthers stopping. The moment that they stop, you leave all of the charge damages that are available to you. And this isn't exactly what I would refer to as a speed raid, but over the course of time... Oh. Okay, so with the volume up now, let me see if decrease in-game volume. Can you hear me, Bo? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, well, I'll just hold this a little bit quicker. Loading up quicker. Alright, so what I was saying earlier is, as a free-to-play player, you got to maximize relics. And when you're maximizing relics, it's nice to have those, 4 troop lands. But to be honest with you, you're really looking for lower level lands than yours with just a bunch of troops so you can maximize your relic output. Right now I'm using Panthers because they are the meta of choice and they allow us to clear these stages pretty dang quickly. So with that said, I love the little auto battle feature. I use auto battle until the main exterior troops are taken care of, and then I can just concentrate on running through where the reinforcements spawn. Now forgive me if this takes a little longer than what you're used to. It's taken longer for me too, because walking and chewing gum is hard sometimes, especially when you're learning to stream. Alright. Now, that aside, because I don't know exactly how long this is going to last tonight, I just want to go ahead and get right into what you're looking at doing as a free-to-play player when you're maximizing your output. Let me bring up my notes real quick. Okay, so let's have a look at our rewards that you're able to get from this. As you can see, I've collected a few already, but I've left the portal stones open. As a free-to-play player, you're really looking at getting the best relics you can out of each event. The Titans are a secondary factor, because the Titans are up in the air on whether or not you're going to get a good one. The relics are the constant thing in this game, where the stats on those are going to be permanent regardless. And so, you get the right relics, you can make a crappy Titan mediocre, you can make a good Titan great, and a great Titan unstoppable. And so when you're determining whether or not to run an event as a free-to-play player, know that your resources are limited, and you're going to be grinding quite a bit. And so, are the relics at the top end really worth it? That's ultimately what you got to ask yourself. And looking at this, if you're going to compete in Legend League, 2-star and 3-star relics won't cut it. The only 3-star relics that you may keep are the troop buffing ones, but the individual Titan buffing ones, don't even worry about it. So I look at these at the early tiers as not even really worth it. The only thing I'm looking at getting out of the early tiers are the poison tokens. And you'll see that we've got multiple poison tokens here. 4 in the event, ranging from 10 or 20 all the way up to 4,500. And so as a free-to-play player, if you grind enough, your goal here should be minimum to get to the 4,500 token. If you get to 4,500, you might as well grind to 5,500 because you'll get a net bonus in gems. If you combine time that it takes for your portal stones to spawn and ultimately get there. As for your question, Bo, on relics depend on land defense, I find that the more troops that are on a land, the higher chances you have to get relics in general. Now, I could go raid higher level lands and maximize my experience as well, but in a future video I'm going to cover the main way to cover events as a free-to-play is making sure you get the bonuses. And sometimes your Titan or your troops are not going to be good enough to fight at the level that you want them to fight. And so if I'm doing speed raids, I want to kill the troops as quickly as possible, and those are going to be lower level troops, and they're going to be massive amounts because my troops can just run them over. Does that make sense? And does that answer your question? So, as you answer that up, I'm looking at this, and right now, I don't think I'm planning to go past 5,500 gems. Mainly because I already have the Septic Belt and Tainted Bow. I don't have a Basathi, but I don't know if the grind from 5,500 to 10,000 is worth a chance at a mediocre Titan. Now, if I was new to the game, it may actually be that way. But as a free-to-play player, you can't underestimate, once you commit to an event, the best rewards are going to be at the end. And so while I would have the X skill Okosi, I already have 2 Orbs of Death, a Morbid Cloak, and Septic Belt and Tainted Bows. Alright, now if I was committed to going to Basathi as a free-to-play player, I would just grind to get the Epic Token. That would be an easy grind. If you're committed to getting to the Orb of Death, you might as well do in the extra 2,000 to get a Kosi. So this is the premium tier that you're looking for here. And then everything below 7,000 is what you should be, in this particular one, is just what you should aim for as a free-to-play player, because you're net bonusing in gems and relic tokens. Well, that's true. So that factor may end up, Bo, convincing me to make the grind to 10,000. But if I make the grind to 10,000, the other stuff is just a hop, skip, jumping away from just committing to get a Kosi. So I've got to determine if I have the time and the time to actually do this. Now, all of that aside, let me show you my list of Titans that I have here to actually grind with. And this is just picking them up in the same way I've described. You'll notice that I have multiple Titans. All 4 of my 4 stars. I always keep the 4 stars, regardless of what their skills are, if I do not have a duplicate. The reason for this is it increases my chance of maximizing the Titan bonus for upcoming events. Now you're going to notice that I have a bunch of level 20s, level 20 Titans, and I do this on purpose when I do not have a Titan to level in that class. And that's because when I don't have a Titan to level in that class, I want to maximize my event rating for that particular Titan when the time comes. And so if I get them to level 20, I can throw on 2 relics. Those 2 relics are going to be my Bitter Dirks and my Mounted Armor. And it just, if you have 2 relics on a lower level Titan, you can just clear as quickly as possible. When I get a duplicate 4-star Titan, I will take the best of the 2, and I will start leveling that one. That aside, I'll show you a quick look at my relics. I'm going to have an upcoming video on relic forging and how to make it work. As you can see, I've got a nice 5-star level 10 relic there. I got a few 4-star avalanches that are level 10. And as I go through here, I have a very specific method that I use when I'm determining which item to level up next. Which we'll cover in an upcoming video. But the point is, as a free-to-play player, you are relic focused. And it's good to understand which relics you need to be leveling up and in which order. And as you can see, I don't forge any 4-star relics because they are unique, and you guys will laugh at me for this, but look how many mounted armors I've gotten from drops. I get those more than anything else, but I still don't have the 4-star Bitter Dirk. The reason why I was deciding whether or not this event was going to be good for me is I've already got 2 Orbs of Death. And while the orbs are phenomenal relics, they are defensive relics at heart because they give 48% resist to different elements to both your Titan and your troops. Let me see what else I got right up here. Now, what I've noticed is that, going back to the actual relics, is that for every 5 events that actually Dawn of Titans throws, if you just grind those events and get the poison tokens or the tokens that are unique to them, that is a free event for you to play as a as a free-to-play player. Because 4 events, 5 relics apiece, we're talking about 20 relics, and those 20 relics, along with basic generation of portal stones, should be enough to complete any average event. And so I saved my relics for those events that I'm not going to have the time to grind, or I don't want to grind. And I will just keep stacking gems. And on average, if I put the time in, I can complete a good 5 out of every 11 events between using gems and saving up the tokens for that speed event that I need to do. Yeah, Bo, I do have a lot of 4-star mounted armors. Only problem is, the Titans that I have that I would normally use them on, I'll give you a look at. You know, I have my Kamathi, which I'm leveling up slowly, and this is my best Titan that I could use. I say best because I do have a Ladega that's higher, but her skill set, not exactly what I want it to be. And so I've just stopped leveling her altogether, in hopes that later on down the road that something more viable will come along. Man, this quality is pretty bad. I don't even know if you guys can see what I have there. Next time I load a video, it should be pretty good. Alright. So, back to the grind. You're looking for lower level castles with a lot of troops. As a level 20, or with level 20 Panthers, I can normally just overrun these pretty dang easily. Let's go over to back to Kamathi. Yeah, Basathi might be more valuable, but I'm hesitant to invest so heavily in another Poison Titan when I don't know if Panthers will be the meta much longer. It has been the meta for so long, and I'm investing in those lightning areas because the developers are putting a lot of energy into that, and they want people to invest. And if they're going to do that, they've got to have some good Titans and some good troop buffing abilities. That being said, it is very important to understand when it is best to use your troop buffing Titans and when it is best to use your solo Titans going out there. Now, what I've found is once you reach level 20, yeah, I'm all on the lightning. Now you guys will notice that I have quite a few gems saved up because a lot of these events I had duplicates of the relics. I didn't need the Titan at the end of the day. And so when I have the time, I will invest into that, into each event with that time, with all of the gems that I've saved. And I have found that the average event, as long as it's not one of those long ones, like which came on Christmas, I'm only spending roughly 8,000 to 10,000 gems to complete the event, grinding it out with the bonus Titans. And 8,000 to 10,000 gems is something that you can save up in 2 weeks, which is why you don't complete every event, but when you choose the ones that you do complete, you're much better off. Alright. Now, I will have a series of videos coming out in this upcoming week and a half that is going to be 10 tips on how to survive in Legend League as a free-to-play player, ranging everything from VP grinding to relic forging strategies to how to compete with guys that spend so much more money than you and still be a benefit to your team as opposed to a detriment. I have been in Legend League for nearly a year now, and I'm normally in the top third in my particular alliance, non-toxic, when it comes to VP. Now, even with my free-to-play status, I can bring down the top castles out there, level 25 guys with their invincible Titans, because I have a range of Titans that I use for specific instances. And I'll go back into that as a way to close my video, because I've got a lot of grinding to do, and this is my inaugural video stream. So whatever I can learn from this and pick up, I'm sure you guys can help me out with as well. Alright, so out of my Titans I've currently got here, I chose to level them up in a specific order. As free-to-play, you always want one defending Titan. I was happy enough to get a Skolnar that wasn't terrible early on. The end push last week, Bo, when it came to that grinding, was brutal for me. With their level 25 guys that camping me constantly, I was only able to get one hit off before they destroyed my garrison. And so my VP stalled at about 15 or 1,500,000. And so that lets me know that I need better relics for better defense. And that's another point I wanted to bring up. When you are defending your garrison, there are two types of titans that you're going to be looking at doing. The first type is the stalling type, and that's what Skolnar is. Goliaths will never catch you quick enough, and so you need those Goliaths just to bore your attackers out of their mind, so they'll never attack you again. The other type is to do as much damage as you possibly can. And those type of titans will be something like the Solzar or the Italis. My Skolnar right here is what I use on my garrison. I swap them out on occasion with my Solzar and my Siegfried. As well as, on occasion, I'll have my Italis I throw on there. I also have a level 60 Venom Tusk. But the Italis is what I was using last week when I was attacking. So when you're attacking the big guys, you need to understand something pretty simple. And this is something I'll go into on another video, is while you can take down garrisons with your one-man army or one-man champion or one-man ranger, you will compete for the top 3 spots or even the top 5 spots in Legend unless you have a Titan buffing or Titan buff that buffs troops for attacking purposes. Because to take those slots away from the level 25 defenders up there, you've got to be laying down their garrisons as quickly as possible, whether it be their huge paladins or, their Avaloses buffing. And so you're going to want a variety of skills in your Titans. This is my Italis that is designed to bring down paladins. As you can see, I've got 2 Imperial damages as well as an Imperial damage against Titans with 72% resist against fire as well as Imperial armor. I'm pretty much set against any Solzar, Rangers, or anything like that. This guy will just run them over. I'll show that in future videos. But Italis is incredibly strong, as you guys already know. But that's what I use him for. My Skolnar, I'll show you guys a brief look at his skills. Not the best for the current meta, because as you can see, the big resist that he is missing is the poison resist. And so I'm trying to compensate with relics for that. But when it comes to anything physical, ice, fire, they're not touching the Goliaths. And then my Solzar is my very first attacking Titan I leveled up. While until they fix the AI for Grenadiers, he's a pretty poor defender for anyone that knows how to attack Rangers. That being said, he is carrying one of my favorite relics, which is no longer available to be received, and that's the nice little Ice Maul. The benefit of having this guy with spears and that Ice Maul is that you do ice and fire damage when someone comes to attack you. So he's a decent land defender. Just don't expect him to defend your garrison, even with trying to take down troops. Alright. Now there's more to cover later on, but for the moment, I am going to go ahead and end my stream. And we will see you guys in the upcoming days as I put together some more videos that will help all of you free-to-play players navigate Legend League. Thank you for your time.